You're now listening in on the Scorpio Power Show. I'm Jim.
And I'm Ryan.
So what's up?
Well, I guess we could introduce this show. We're from Geek Out Freak Out, and...
Well, correctly Atomic Blue Productions.
Yes, well, it's correctly Atomic Blue Productions, which is my production company in which we make lots of videos, often seen at Kineticon. Funny enough, that Jim is the previous vice president of Kineticon, and I am the current.
Yeah.
And we're like real-life twinsies separated at birth, except I'm gay.
And I'm as straight as an arrow.
Yep. He doesn't even bend a little, which is good because I think it might get a little weird if that was the case. Jim's also the camera guy for Geek Out Freak Out, so you sometimes hear him talking in the background.
Making brief on-screen appearances, too.
Well, that's true, too. Sometimes it's like half his eye or, the middle finger, his nose.
Throwing something.
It's like an abstract art project. Anyway, so we decided that since we're twinsies in real life and we talk about everything in the real world and make people laugh, hopefully we'll make you laugh by listening to this show. I'm just going to put a disclaimer out there right now that we're essentially a couple of assholes, to put it lightly. I mean,
I've been one my entire life.
Yeah, I mean, I'm from Boston, so
Yeah.
I don't even have a hope.
No. No, I mean, you're wicked hot and wicked awesome right there, right? But you know,
I'm not even going to go into that right now because I've done a really good job of losing whatever remnants of an accent that I ever had.
Can you say idea?
I can say idea.
Not with an R?
Oh, wow. It just kind of came out a little bit, though.
Yeah, it really did.
Haha. Okay,
You're
so
screwed for the week.
Fun story about that is that I didn't even realize I had a slight accent when I lived up in Boston until my best friend pointed out to my other best friend that we both had them. And we were like, what? Like, just like that. Complete with the lawn A and everything.
Long gaze.
Yeah.
The misbegotten child of the Nassau.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, except now they're building that casino in
Springfield.
Revere,
yeah.
And so now it's going to be like Jersey Shore, but for Boston. Let's be honest. That's exactly what it is.
The Sullys and the Murphs of the world do not need a casino. That's the last thing they need up there.
Well, Revere is like not even a nice place. Although apparently that's where the tracks used to be, so the gamblers are still going to go there.
Yeah, it was where the tracks were.
Yeah.
Anywho.
Anyway, before we get off on a tangent,
which will happen.
Yeah. We decided that we're going to make this because we are nerdy and we talk about nerdy things. And we get really passionate, and we've been spending a lot of time going to the diner and then standing outside of the diner and not actually going home because we're too busy nerding out and talking and getting really aggressive talking about whatever nerdy thing we're talking about for like 2 hours until we're like, shit, we have to go home.
Yeah. So today's topic is relevance. It's Archer.
Well, yeah, that's where we're starting. And Archer is one of our very favorite shows.
It really is.
I have a lot of respect for that show. Well, at least where it started, and the cast and the script writers.
Well, I've always been an Adam Reed fan. I've been it since C-Lab 2021. I've been it since Frisky Dingo. Even the short-lived Exticles series, 3 episodes with the rapist. When it was actually like a sign for the therapist.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, a lot of people did. So I've always been a huge fan of Adam Reed. When I saw this was coming out, it was like, okay, Adam Reed was Adult Swim in high school for me, so that's pretty cool. And then it's like I hear Archer's voice, and boom, H. John Benjamin.
Yeah, seriously.
There's Coach McGurk.
That's what I thought, too. And I had to kind of convince other people that it was not Coach McGurk. And then he went on to also do Bob's Burgers.
Which is
so now
also
it's just
great.
like the triple
But apparently we're of like the weird minority in our friend circle who believe that Bob's Burger is a fantastic show.
I don't understand that. I don't understand why everybody
Heathens.
is not obsessed watching with Bob's Burgers all the time.
Heathens.
Yeah, right?
That's all I can say.
Anyway, so Archer, that show grew on me really fast because obviously with my own projects, I love the idea of comedy super spy stuff. And growing up with 007, I mean, obviously it's just a double kick to the balls that you want.
Oh, yeah. Archer grew on me fairly quickly. I was watching the pilot episode 5 years ago now at my friend John's house, and it was the pilot, and then it was actually the first episode and then the pilot in reverse order. and the pacing caught me. The jokes, the fact, I love the retro feel with the modern twist to it. You don't see that as much now, but it's well done with the fact that it's very obviously like the late 70s, early 80s coming about, and there's still a Soviet Union, but the tech level is like either really ridiculously 70s or now.
I know. It's like they can't actually make up their mind, but I think that's part of the joke.
Yeah. I mean, it's very clearly that Mallory fought in World War II. Woodhouse is a World War I veteran.
Yeah, pretty much.
What with his awesome backstory episode.
Oh, I loved that,
for,
too.
like, not even, like, a title character. Who gets the backstory episode?
And it's super gay. Super gay.
Without actually saying it.
I mean, that's okay, though.
But, yeah, so Archer, it kept it going. We were introduced, it's like the Lana, Cyril.
Oh, my God, Lana. I love that Archer. Lana. Well, I love that how progressive the show is, number one, because the co-star is a female black woman, and she's just way more badass and put together than anybody else in that entire team.
She falls under her own foibles of being, I think it's trying too hard kind of thing.
Yep.
As mentioned in one episode, is like they constantly berate her for not having more than 2 magazines.
Yep, and she's played by the wonderful Aisha Tyler, who I love more than like any other comedian out there right now.
Who, yeah. I just love how it's Arrested Development.
Yeah, pretty much.
With H. John Benjamin.
Right? Oh my God. And Mallory is just that same character. Although I think that's, at this point, she's typecast to play that kind of character.
She really is. I mean, she hasn't done much since Arrested Development, which is kind of sad because the entire cast of Arrested Development was just gifted comedians all around.
It really is. And I'm rewatching it again because they updated Netflix with the new season.
Oh, yeah. And I haven't even watched the new season yet. I'm just like...
Well, neither have I, because I'm going through the whole series again, because it's been that long since it originally aired.
Well, seeing how like I was unemployed, you think it's like, oh, you catch up on all this Netflix and crap. It's like, yeah, I will. Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, pretty much.
I watched Deep Space Nine all summer long.
I think I just rewatched all of Pokemon, which now, ironically, is going to be on Netflix. So there goes my social life again. Like, It happens at least for 2 weeks, once a year, where I just want to be James from Team Rocket. I lived that dream once.
You did live that dream once, and it was fantastic.
And it led me to this job now.
I was really privileged to watch this, and I honestly said to myself, wow. Literally, wow.
Well, there was
there was also a couple jokes because I didn't know you as well at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
So
for anybody who's actually taking the time to listen to this, the first time I actually did a Kineticon event, I was hosting the Kineticon Masquerade as James from Team Rocket, and I got to wear a dress on stage, and I got to be the Kineticon mascot at the same time.
You really did.
And it was my best friend's dress, and I go backstage to her, and I go, oh, my God, I fit into this. We should start sharing clothes more often. She's like, never say that again to me, ever.
I think when we were watching the video a couple months back, I jokingly said, oh, it works on you. And you're like, yeah, it's so-and-so's dress. I was like,
are you surprised?
Wow. Not really surprised, but...
That's what happens when a gay man is best friends with, like, a feminist. So,
yep.
Anyway, we're getting off track here.
So, Archer also, you mentioned storytelling, and Archer has a overall plot, which is one of several things, which is who is Archer's dad,
which we never find out.
Which I hope we never do.
I like the idea that it could be anyone. That Mallory is also like Cartman's mom.
Buddy, what was it? Buddy Rich from the drummer, Buddy Rich from that band.
Yes.
That's who is Archer's dad. What is actually going on with ISIS in like the international community, and then Barry.
Oh my God, Barry!
Because Barry went from being that quote unquote asshole Barry.
Well, sometimes I wonder if like Barry is even going to stay relevant or not. Like sometimes he's one of the main characters or the main enemies. And
you need a villain. You need a consistent villain.
He like comes in sometimes just for the last episode and just fails miserably.
Well, it's like the spoiler alert, the restaurant episode. What happens at the end of that was just hilarious.
Well, you know what? Maybe we should just make a note now that this show is going to be full of spoilers. So just fucking get used to it.
Yeah, we are not changing for you. We do not care.
Yeah, we're all accepting of everyone at every race and culture, but we're not changing ourselves. So get out.
Yep.
No, just kidding. I love you all. Maybe. We'll talk about it later.
It's kind of, we just want to keep it casual, friends. We're not really looking for something long term. Second time I actually got to make that joke this week.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're on a roll.
I really am. I told my fiance is here and she's giving me like the glowering look.
She's also pasting pictures of hockey players onto a scrapbook, which is super manly.
Manlier than what I can do. She tried
to
have me like she's like, here, hon, cut the squares. It'll be helping me, and I'm like an epileptic kid with scissors.
Yeah, see, I'm like that gay guy when I walked into the room, you're like, do you want to help? And I'm like, no. Walks away.
Look, yeah, but you were looking at it. You're like, oh god, they're doing.
Well, there were sparkly stars, and I do fall into the gay category. I really want sparkly things.
I can't wait to do crafts with them.
Yeah, that's what was going through my head.
Yeah, Mister, I want to help plan your wedding.
Actually, I'm pretty sure what was going through my head at that time is like, I want to eat food.
Yeah, you kept mentioning a lot of food.
There's two things with me. It's either beer or food. Like
it really is.
So
once again, spoiler indiscretion and the weird looks from my fiance. We go back to Archer. We will be spoiling stuff. We don't care. If you haven't watched Archer now, get out from under that rock. So Barry is a rival agent who turns out to be the bigger villain later on in the picture. I won't say too much because there is a modicum of decency we got to keep.
Well, I guess so. I mean, I feel like if you haven't seen Archer or at least haven't spoiled yourself via the internet at this point, then there's something wrong with you. So
yeah.
So where are you going here with Barry?
Well,
because
you said he's kind of like in the background. He's always going to be in the background, but he's the chief rival. He's the actual agent who cares, who wants to do his job properly, who loses everything, not once, not twice, but literally thrice to Archer so far in the series. And the one time he actually does win, it ends up biting him in the ass yet again.
Yeah.
Later on down the road.
Over and over and over and over again. That's kind of like Archer's whole deal, though, is that like everything he does just keeps biting him in the ass forever. And he doesn't like ass play.
Well,
he does, but
Well,
Actually, wait, no, because there's that dude.
Does,
all right, wait, hold on. I forgot about that already.
That goes back to Barry.
Wow.
There.
Yeah, if it turned out that Archer was like bisexual in some kind of way, I'd be okay with that.
No, they also had the implications in the first season too with Scorpio. Yeah,
ironically,
the arms dealer.
Everything fell into place just in that moment.
I honestly just think I just thought of our logo. It's going to be Hank Scorpio and the guy, the arms dealer.
I hope so.
It works out perfectly for both of us.
But yeah, Archer's always had consistent storylines. I've always been super into like how they really develop the characters and the characters' backstories and their relationships with each other, especially how awkward they are because they're just all awful human beings, which is also why I love it.
Oh, they're god awful.
Yeah, and they treat each other like shit. But like we can't stop watching this train wreck of a spy corporation that essentially just falls apart.
Yeah, I mean we're not going to spoil the 5th season because it's not. It's too new to spoil.
Yeah, but we can talk about it a little bit because you're on board with the season. I'm on board with the season 5 train, and you're not so much.
Yeah. I find it being centric to one character in particular, and that's what I think is going to hurt the show in the long run. Because when it's like, hey, look, we're going to kill this horse, and the problem I've seen is Adam Reed has done this before.
Yeah, it's true.
He has a great thing, and then he beats it to death. And then, unfortunately, like with C-Lab, it was like Captain Murphy. Everyone liked Captain Murphy. When he died, that show tanked.
Yep.
No matter how hard they tried to keep it on, it was not funny anymore.
I really hope that nobody actually dies, but, what can we do? But to be fair, how many times have people died and come back to life in this show? Like Ray is one of them.
Ray never died.
And Barry. Oh, no, Ray keeps on breaking his back.
Yeah,
and then
Ray's always paralyzed, and oops. And Barry is now a cyborg. Oops.
And also Barry's current
Katya.
I forgot what her name was.
Katya.
I keep on calling her Emma Frost because she's always dressed in white and has blonde hair and is just like gorgeous with big boobs.
Because she's a Russian lady.
Yeah, pretty much.
You may have also seen her at the recent Olympics winning some kind of gold medal in ice dancing. Yeah, I went there.
Oh my god.
I'm a jingoist. That was another good one with the Canadians.
Yeah, that's the train.
The train when
that is one of my favorite episodes of all time.
When he's like, "You killed the black guy, you racist," and he goes, "I didn't shoot the black guy, you jingoist."
And then he's like asking how he's being racist, and like Lana's like, "Are you fucking serious right now?" And just like wants to shoot him.
I love how Ryan is allowed to swear and I'm not.
Well, I don't know why you're not allowed to swear. I'm all out here. I'm putting my cards on the table. Like, we all know that I can't get. It's really funny for me to even like get out on stage or host anything without swearing. So
yeah, you're getting pretty riled up there. You've gone from just like lounging in the chair to like aggressively like sitting right now. It's kind of.
I'm a very passionate person. I'm from Boston. God damn it.
Yeah, I think it's Italian.
That too. I'm like gay, Boston, Italian. It's like a really vicious mix.
I'm surprised you don't blow up some days.
I'm also a vampire and a robot with whatever, a clone,
gay clone, vampire,
alien,
robot,
all at once. But anyway,
Archer also sets like a lot of relevant tones. Too.
Yeah.
You were talking of the progressiveness of the cast. The second lead is Aisha Tyler's Lana.
Yes.
Adam Reed plays Ray Gillette.
Yeah, but Ray's like kind of in the background most of the time. Even when he's like relevant, he's not even like relevant.
He's also a prominent gay character, though.
I mean, that's true, and I do think there's a lot of.
This actually goes back to an earlier conversation. You will have this happen on the show a lot. The way that gay characters have been being portrayed in adult situational anime comedies or animated comedies compared to live action comedies are two totally different things.
Yep. You
have like the Ray Gillettes, the Shore Leaves, and the Alchemist of the world. Shore Leave and the Alchemist being from the Venture Brothers. If you're, again, under a rock, get out from under it.
We're going to hit you in the face with it.
Damn straight. They're progressively, it's like, Shore Leave said it the best. It's like, oh, I'm the big sissy because I'm out and proud to stand in the face of bigots like you.
Well, Shore Leave is my spirit animal, so.
I don't think you can have a cartoon character as a spirit animal.
Well, for years I said Lara Croft was my spirit animal, but then I met Shore Leave, and yeah.
But you have these, they're strong, they're not like, they're obviously a little over the top.
Yeah.
But, in the case of like Shore Leave, him and Brock Sampson are like a 1-2 punch.
Right, and it's like Shore Leave is essentially the gay version of Brock Sampson.
Yeah.
Like he's his equal, which is important. And with Archer, you get like kind of like a quadruple hit with that because you have Archer, which is the male lead, and he's just an asshole, not really good at anything. But then you have the strong female, which is Lana, and then you have like the gay character, which is Ray, and then you also have Pam, who is like somebody who is not by any standards like somebody who's considered hot, but she's also like the most badass. And I think it's kind of cool that they have like an obese character who's like way more cooler than anybody.
Oh yeah,
on that
she street races, right hand drive cars against the Yakuza. She's underground pit fighting.
Yep.
For cash.
And then you have Cheryl, which she's just nuts. Like there's like no deal to her other than her being nuts.
Yeah,
crazy.
Choke sex and huff and glue.
Yeah, and like I kind of feel like Cyril also falls into like that same weird category. He's like a nerd, but like he's also got like sex problems.
They had so much opportunity to do with the sex addiction.
Yeah,
and they dropped it because I think they were like, it was only funny when Tiger Woods was getting hit in the head with a golf club.
Yeah, I mean that's true too. But even Krieger's like
Fisto Roboto.
I think
that's all I have to say, folks. Fisto.
I don't even
Roboto.
know what to make of Krieger. Like, to be honest, like every single time I watch a show, like I love him, but like I don't even like understand his deal.
I love how he didn't speak for the first 5 episodes.
I know, right?
And then he starts speaking, and it is the absolute worst shit you have ever heard.
You're like,
go
back to not talking.
They're talking to this representative from the United Nations, and he starts talking about a self-aware, self-learning sex bot named Fisto Roboto, and he learns. And it's hilarious because this man is obviously now awkward in this conversation, and he continues to tell it's like he could do this, but he won't do this because he's just so sensitive. From there, you have irradiating the ants.
Oh my god,
that was a great one. Irradiating the ants to give a man ant strength capable to man's size, which was like the greatest thing. The gay pill. The gay
pill. I forgot about the gay pill.
Can't forget about the gay pill as he's just like downing them. Or the fact that he's not really a doctor.
Yeah,
and
I
he's
love
mentioned that several times.
That is my favorite part. But I feel like there was those episodes where Mallory kind of has these like flashbacks, and she's like hiring all the different people, and like none of them have any kind of qualification. Like that time when she hires Lana, which is my favorite, it's like she pulls out a gun and threatens a crowd.
And Lana, stares
protesters, and Lana just stands there and she's like, "Aren't you afraid of me?" And Lana's like, "Nope." And
How would you
Mallory's
like a
like,
job?
"Want a job?" And he keeps on doing that with like all the characters. Like none of them have any qualifications to be spies, which is like the best part.
Which leads partly into why the 5th season happens, but
Well, exactly.
I did actually. You know what? There is a character who dies in Archer, the fat guy.
Oh yeah, and also
the Lord of the Rings guy. He would make all the Lord of the Rings jokes. When Conway Stern was there,
and they like weren't even sure if he was dead at first.
No, but Krieger had to say it and they actually mistimed the episodes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They aired Krieger saying he's dead, and then the next week he died. But
well, maybe Krieger has some crazy psychic powers. I don't know. He's like a Hitler clone, right?
Well, yeah, the boys from Brazil.
Oh, also, Brett finally actually dies.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Maybe
died doing what he loved.
Maybe I'll go back and edit something at the very beginning of this of me screaming spoiler
I
alert.
can read off some libel like that.
I mean, who really cares? I feel like if you pick up or download a podcast, you are already signing up for spoilers because like that's part of being what a podcast is. But so anyway, like I love Archer, and the thing is that like with any show you can only do the same thing for so long before it starts to get boring, which is I think why season 5 has changed entirely.
Well, they mentioned that. I read an article that Adam Reed did a lot of the writing himself,
and he wanted to kind of like change it up.
He wanted to change it up to keep it fresh and relevant, so he wouldn't lose that same spark, and so they hired more writers, and that's where they came up with this concept of Archer Vice. And I'm very proud of myself because I didn't like put Vice in quotes with my fingers because I'm like, people are gonna see this.
Yeah,
and my forebrain's like, no, Jim, you're talking into a microphone.
Also, one hand's in your pocket and the other one's holding the microphone, so that would have been interesting to see your fingers move.
And points to Carly.
Oh my goodness. I mean, I don't hate it. I feel like it goes back and forth between being really like great and just kind of like being mediocre.
Yeah.
But I think they're trying out this new platform, and it's going to be hard for them to make a transition.
That's what's keeping me interested. But the new platform is also kind of, like I said, it seems to be shifting in one character's direction.
Yeah,
and that usually spells doom. For me, like Battlestar Galactica had that.
Well, Battlestar Galactica was a wonderfully written show. I love it.
Yeah, until you watch season 4.5.
I was going to say, until you get to the end and find out, like, Starbucks' stupid end story.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. You wait 9 years for Leodama to be happy, and then he's not.
Well, I mean, that's kind of like all those characters, though.
Well,
it's just like sadness everywhere.
You watch Mom die, because that's how like I equated Rosalind and Adama. It's like you watch Mom die. Then it's like, oh, Grandpa's sad, so Grandpa's gone in 6 months to a year later.
Pretty much.
And then it's like, oh, look, Leodama has some good idea that's probably going to screw humanity over another time because go Leodama.
Yeah.
That's another story. We'll have our Battlestar episode.
Well, yeah, right. That will be. I feel like I need to rewatch the end of that season because. Otherwise, it's like
I actually did rewatch the end of the season. It was called the Deep Space Nine ending because you know who wrote that?
Same person,
Ronald Moore.
Yeah, seriously.
Anywho,
yeah, we're big fucking nerds here, so
nerd
alert. So yeah, with the Archer Vice, I don't dislike it. I think it's brave and bold to go ahead and try something new, especially since it's only in season 5 and people try changing things up much later on in a series run.
Usually they're threatened by producers of the parent station that shows it. And I'm just going to go out there on a limb and say FX has been very, very supportive of its shows. The League, one of its popular comedies, has gone from like a 6-episode little haha thing with Nick Kroll and a bunch of other people to it's literally mostly ad-libbed. They have a full like 12-episode season now. And it's actually worth watching. Not to mention Sons of Anarchy, Justified, The Americans, which, by the way, The Americans, last night. If you didn't watch it, they kind of broke one of the taboos on television.
I didn't see it, so you're gonna have to spoil it for me. 'Cause now you've put it on the table, so now I have to know.
I'm going to admit, like, I've been lax, and I saw this on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is big news! Holy!" It's up there with South Park saying shit 167 times on television.
What did they do? What
the main characters, the kid walked in on them giving each other a 69.
What? Seriously?
I shit you not. The kid walked in, and mommy and daddy were. Nom nom.
Well, I mean,
it's.
I think it happens at least once in every child's lifetime.
Yeah. I mean, that happens to all of us, unless you're a certain person I know, and that's sad. But that's another story. But yeah, they literally showed that on television. And they're like, well, the director doesn't have so many awards for this for not bending the barrier. But yeah, FX has fully supported its shows.
Yeah,
they want the shows to be trendy, to be edgy. I mean, it's always been like that.
That's true.
Because before Archer and all that, you had The Shield. You had the short-lived Over There, which was chronicalizing the Iraq War. And what was that one with Dennis Leary? I'm gonna probably get so much nerd hate from this
for quoting it or for not knowing
it. Because everybody loves Dennis Leary still, right? Or am I that dated?
I think you're dated there.
Okay.
Dennis Leary is not really relevant.
But it's Dennis.
Dane Cook isn't relevant anymore.
Oh,
he came
Jesus
after
Christ.
that. Somebody actually asked me the other day, they're referencing a Dane Cook joke, and I laughed, and they're like, I'm glad you got that. And I was like, but then people younger was like, what are you quoting? And I was like, wow, do comedians really go out that quick?
Well, when you suck,
sad.
you do.
So none of those people sucked though.
It was the fire station.
Okay.
Dennis Leary did the fire truck thing. It's gonna bother me all night now, and you're all gonna be like, "You did," and I'm like, "Yeah, I know," because I realized it at midnight after we were done. No, Bird Notice was Michael Jeffrey Donovan as Michael Weston, who used to be a spy on USA. Also a great channel to watch TV. Rescue Me.
Oh, Rescue Me.
Thank you, fiance.
I can't. We're not going to get into Rescue Me.
No, but I mean, FX gave the full support of that. I mean, there was that whole, do they want to continue to do it after 9/11 because the firefighters this, and FX was like, why aren't you going to do this? You honor those brave men.
Yeah, I think West Wing did something similar because they were also airing a new episode around 9/11. They had to do something to kind of alleviate that. So I think that was tricky for any kind of show that was relevant to the government at the time.
Yeah. No, literally, it took Rescue Me took a 6-month hiatus.
Yeah.
They actually had to rewrite the season to put 9/11 into it.
Right.
Because you couldn't have a show about NY Fire Department
and not have 9/11.
And not have 9/11 in it.
But anyway, so FX has always supported their shows.
It's always supportive. With that, I can see Archer going... I was really worried, midway through the third season, that it seemed like it peaked. And then the fourth season kind of brought that around. I was like, okay, this is actually fun and enjoyable again. I'm getting that worrying sense right now, but it could be just because now it's that's why there's a pile of new people writing this.
Well, I mean, that's true, but you just said that you were worried before, and then it turned around, so maybe that will happen again, too. You're not going to know until you get to the end of the season. Let's both admit that you're committed and you're going to finish the season.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Amazon is reaping the benefits right now of me buying, for my instant video player because I'm too lazy to wait for Netflix.
That's okay. I buy the DVDs still. I'm still a person who buys DVDs.
Oh, me too.
So
me too. I'm waiting. I'm debating
and VHSs. If it came out on VHS, I would probably own it on that also.
I'd find a Betamax if I could.
I'm a big fucking nerd.
Oh no, that's too far.
Yeah, but I as I keep on saying, I think it's bold for them to do this, and it's hard, and I think it's a tough sell because they're going not only from being spies, but they're going from being spies, losing that business altogether, and now there's now we have a shitload of cocaine. Spoiler alert! How are we going to sell this shit, make money off of it, especially since Pam's addicted to it, and all these people
spoiler.
Well, but even if you didn't know that, you can just assume that this group with cocaine isn't going to work out. They're not very good at keeping their drug intake intact. Actually. They're terrible at it.
Old ISIS. It's just a new situation.
Yep.
The part about it, and this is going to sound, I'm already regretting that we had to stop for a second here.
Because you lost your train of thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same old ISIS with the same old results in new situations. I'm really glad that several characters from the original first season are back that have short little things early on that hilarious results. You have a whole list of... It can go anywhere now. It's not limited to the realm of espionage.
Right. It could go anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, they could, for all we know, they could...
I mean, they spoiled how the season's going to go in the first episode.
Yeah.
Well,
sort of. I mean, they were all like really... It was flashes and stuff. And the most I got from that is that Cheryl's a country rock star.
I got the words, "We're started a coup d'etat" from Pam. So
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That was something that interested me. You know, when Pam says we started a friggin' coup d'etat.
I mean, if she goes through with it, I mean, it's Pam. She could just be like sprouting that shit out of her ass for all we know.
Yeah,
so.
Because you can easily voice over something on an action scene.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is probably how we're gonna get.
Or she could just have been saying it like as a joke. You know what I mean? Like, just remember, we're going to start a coup d'etat.
But it's kind of, why would Pam say that? And then why would Cheryl be there with a rocket launcher?
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, I don't know. But I'm excited for it. I mean, I keep saying, like, it's going to change anything. But really, I want to see where it goes because it's sad that they're not spies right now because I love spy shit, like, more than anything. But... it makes you wonder who Mallory's contact in the government is. Well, I agree with that. So, just because they don't think they're spies doesn't mean they're not. That's true. That is very true. I kind of get the feeling, and I've thought this since I started watching this new season, is that what if, like, they're only going to be, like, a drug cartel for this season, and then it's just back to ISIS after that? It's a possibility. I know that he wanted to write something different, and he may just want to stick to doing that. But, sometimes seeing where characters and their storylines will go, especially when it's something that's what they don't normally do, it's going to lead to a completely different storyline if they went back to their old jobs. You know what I mean? Yeah. Is it status quo, or is it just kind of like, do you not mention the last year? Right. I mean, so... It could go anywhere, and I'm interested to go on this ride because I've supported Archer since it came out, and before people were really into Archer because I felt like it became popular like 2011, season 2, and I'm like sitting there telling people about Archer, and they're like, "Oh, we'll get to it eventually," and like it's free for a while. It's like free on Hulu, like you can just look it up. And the DVDs were out in like May. Yeah, and I kept on saying that you need to see this. When we used to do the when I used to work here, and we're at the lovely Connecticut office, by the way. When I used to work the studios here. Member appreciation days, I would bring my Xbox either to play video games for a little while, or I have an extensive library on my hard drive, and it would be like we were watching Archer, and I remember one kid was like, "That's got to be the dumbest thing on TV," and I remember the Mensa guy goes, "Really? Because I've seen dumber shit, and this is brilliant." Yeah, I mean, Family Guy is still on. Yeah. Wow. Ooh, sick burn. Apply water. Yeah. Ouch. Maybe you should cut that part out. No. God, no. Family Guy. To be fair, I actually do really like the first season of Family Guy, but... First 3. I can't get it up to 3. Like, I've watched a lot of Family Guy, but I feel I definitely only was hooked in for the first couple. Yeah, season 3 was like the original Fox run before it returned. That's true. Unless you we're waiting the 6 months for Wish Upon a Weinstein to air, and all I had to do was go and buy the DVD, and it was on the DVD. I remember that, and everyone's like, "I can't wait for it to be on Adult Swim," and I'm like, "I have it." You know what? It wasn't but then again, that good after all that. No, it really wasn't. The best line, it was like, look, it's half Lenny Kravitz. And then Peter's face when he's like, Optimus Prime? You're Jewish? And the truck comes in, transforms, and it gets the vestments of Judaism. Because, it's also going to be hard to write a show and then go on break for multiple years and then come back. I think that's what... We'll bring that up in a future episode, but I think that's what happened in Futurama. Future episode? Yeah, I was going to say future as in Futurama. Yeah. I actually really loved all of Futurama, from start to finish. I'm struggling through watching the newer stuff. You know, you have to make it to the end because it's worth
that.
it.
Well,
They
you've told
cleaned
me.
it up real well.
You've told me so.
I
did like the gender swap episode. That was hilarious.
Oh my god, that was so good. They keep on doing that a lot though. Futurama is like really good at just doing weird things.
Well, it was so. Let's end this with Archer before we go on to tangents of multiple shows we'll probably never do.
And like Bob's Burgers because I keep thinking about it and how I really want a burger.
Yeah,
and
you don't eat meat.
I don't, but there's some really delicious.
Well, I mean, you don't eat
veggie burgers.
Cow.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah, I know.
I've never made that joke before in my life. We're getting stares from your fiance now.
Yeah.
So Archer.
So Archer, I think we said enough without with enraging the internet too much.
I don't think we're enraging them. Hopefully, please don't kill us.
Whatever. I'm not afraid. Listen, watch Archer Mondays at 10 FX. If you can't,
wow, you give them a date. You're like, I like you're promoting the show.
I don't
even know when it's actually initially on because I just watch it on the internet.
Mondays at 10, or wait 6 hours and then buy it off of Amazon or watch it on demand if you have one of those like cable services. Just keep looking at FX and all that. And listen to us, Ryan and Jim.
Being cool,
yeah,
hopefully.
Right.
I mean, what's our definition of cool?
Used to be smoking cigarettes, but then I quit that.
Yeah, I quit that also. We both drink whiskey, like on the rocks. I mean,
no, Scotch. Let's not be heathens here. we're Scotch drinkers.
That's true. But I do love bourbon a lot.
Bourbon's good.
Bourbon is delish. Anyway, that is really off topic. Although not really, because Mallory drinks
that.
Yeah,
Mallory drinks it.
It went full circle. Even with alcohol,
it really did.
Comes back to Archer over and over again. Oh, wait, before we cancel, wow. Canceling the show already. We haven't even got through episode 1.
We're getting the Fox treatment here. Wow, that was fast. Thank you, Fox.
Oh my god!
What was didn't they make fun of that in one of the episodes of New Futurama?
It was
they went to Comic-Con.
No,
and it was like, here, we'll show you this like never before seen clip, and it was about a man who lives from the year 3000 who goes to the year 4000. It starts out like Futurama, and then it's like canceled.
Oh yeah,
and Graydon's like, wow, that was fast.
I forgot about that. I thought you were referencing at the very beginning of their new season. They were like the box company decided to rehire them
with the Doodars.
Yes. Yeah, that was hilarious.
That was a great episode.
Anyway, I want to say before we end this episode that my love for Archer is really extensive. And at Kineticon, I also run a lot of the cosplay events. And a couple years ago, we did what's the name of it?
Archer.
Let's Make a Deal.
Let's Make a Deal.
Which
Archer's
is the actual game show. Let's Make a Deal. But we did it live with Archer characters instead. And I played Archer. I didn't really love doing it because, like,
you really kind of channeled. I mean, it was a little, no offense, gay, but
I can't get rid of the gay. I'm sorry, it's part of my genetics. But it was easy because, like, there's something a little.
It came naturally to you.
It did because I think it's because it's a little of the Italian and the Bostonian in me because, like, I just get to be an asshole.
Yeah, fancy suit with a tie.
Right on stage. It's just like. We also had to make it PG-13, so I couldn't swear nearly as much as I wanted to.
Oh yeah.
But we had a lot of fun, and my friend Guido played Lana, and Maddie played Cheryl. Alex Jarvis was Krieger. Sarah Sasek was Krieger's like sex thing, hologram, like the anime character.
Sarah always seems to get like the weird bit roles here and there.
Well, I think she likes doing it that way.
Yeah.
And then Kristen, who's in charge of panels and workshops,
was
Mallory, and we had a lot of fun with it because we loved that show so much.
Before it happened, though, remember opening ceremonies that year?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I did my Best Brett impersonation to plug the new event.
Yep, and then I shot him in the face. I think I don't really remember. That was like one of the better cues we ever had.
It really was.
We were waiting for the gunshot to go off, and like I just had to keep on improvising until somebody hit the sound cue.
I have to say though, my favorite part about that is the look on yours and Gita's face when I hit the ground because I threw myself forward.
Gita's reaction might have been like legit though because like we were walking on stage and I go, oh, by the way, I'm gonna accidentally shoot Jim at some point with this, so just roll with it. And she's like, wait, what? And then like we went on stage. So
yeah, for those of you who don't know, it was a running gag every year that I would get hurt on stage from the original year of actually quote unquote dying on stage,
which is funny, and it was always because of me, and then I took his position.
Well, it wasn't because of you. Halden did it one year. Carlos Ferro rammed my own Lancer into my chest when I introduced him. it may be made out of plastic, but
I almost stepped on your face when you were a Spike from Buffy.
oh yeah, that those big ass boots were missing my nose by
You
a
thought you were
hair's
gonna
breadth.
die.
I was like, oh, that is a boot in my face, and there's gonna be blood everywhere, and these kids ain't gonna know what to do. It's gonna be like, am I so pretty?
So yeah, playing Archer was fun, and I definitely I would do it again. Let's put it that way, and that's how far my love goes. If I'm willing to cosplay it without actually being in an event to host something, that means I really love the show.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about this costume play. I'm more into the costume villainy.
That's true, except I got you to play Wreck-It Ralph, so
You still owe me money for that too.
I do owe you money for that. And by money, you mean like alcohol.
Whatever.
We drink a lot on the show. Ironically, we're not drinking right now, but maybe we should be.
That will be the special episode.
And they're all a little special in their own way. Anyway, I hope you guys continue to listen to more of our podcasts because we're going to try and do this in between Geek Out, Freak Out episodes. Maybe get Rain involved if she's free.
Just be horrible in general.
I know. I mean, this is kind of like the raw Geek Out, Freak Out a little bit.
We should actually do a recording of how we come up with things, but then people will be actually bored to watch us just sit there.
I don't know. We sit there and scream a lot. Rain will be coming up with an idea. We're just so vicious. So
I'm not. I just sit there behind my computer. I'm like, doo doo doo.
No, you take notes while Rain and I kind of
yell and fight each other.
And then do each other's hair.
I don't. More correctly, I don't see Rain doing your hair.
Just because that's true.
We love you, Rain. We love you so much.
Okay, I think this episode needs to end.
Yep.
So anyway, watch Archer.
Mondays
really
at 10
great.
on FX and all that bullshit as I just cut Ryan off.
Yep. And if you have anything that you want us to talk about on here, let us know. Otherwise, we're going to ramble forever. So
yeah. Atomic Blue has a YouTube page.
Yep. It's Atomic Blue Productions. The Twitter is just Atomic Blue Prod because Twitter is a bitch and won't let you actually put in a full name.
Isn't that like a prison term?
I don't even know. You. I had to think that sunk in for a second.
Wow,
yeah, so Atomic Blue Productions. You can find it on YouTube, Twitter, on Tumblr, and also at atomicblueproductions.com. We have other stuff as well, like Geek Out, Freak Out. We make the Catapult episodes of Kineticon, and we have some new series.
Team Sexy Bane.
Team Sexy Bane, which is where I do a We Play with my good friend Mary Ellen, and we're going to be releasing some pretty crazy stuff later this year. So
yeah, and not to mention, we'll probably be talking about movies and other good bullshit as it comes along. This is just how Ryan and I normally talk to each other.
And we're recording it for some reason because we're a couple of jackasses.
Yeah.
Oh, also
we're the Scorpio powers.
The Scorpio powers.
Boom.
Firecrackers. Anyway, also you can find me on Twitter at Dr. Yoshi2
and me at Solid Jimmy 46.
Yep,
Solid Jimmy 46.
All right. Anyway, so I guess this is us signing out.
Deuces.